Alright, so at the moment, I'm back in Veliko Tarnovo in Bulgaria. So I last left when I was in Sofia, when I was in Plovdiv rather. So I was in Plovdiv, I went back to Sofia, and then in Sofia I saw Jerry again, he was still there. And then I stayed there for about a month waiting for my passport. I got there on the 3rd, passport came on the 18th. I picked up a ukulele, which I've been playing for a few months now. Not still confident at it, still can't sing to it, but I'm enjoying it. So, right, so in Sofia, we met two nurses. One was an Irish girl called Ashlyn, and one was a Welsh girl called Sarah. Yet we called her Princess because apparently Sarah means princess, and that was just cooler. So, they're both working in a hospital in Birmingham. So, we met them while in Sofia. They went on their way, they were traveling around the Balkans doing the typical trip. And then I think it was on like the 24th or the 25th or something relevant comes up where me and Jerry begin texting him again. And then they're like, oh, you should come join us. We're going to Corfu, going to be in Kavos for 2 nights, which is just against Albania. It's a big island. So me and Jerry are like, yeah, right, let's go, let's go to Albania. So like 3 days later, we decided to leave. So the idea was we'd spend 2 nights with them in Kavos, which is like a party island. They'd go on their way. Who knows what we'd do, probably go around Albania or something. So the day came, it was a couple of days later after we decided to go to Albania, very short notice, and we decided we'd catch the midnight bus out of Sofia because the bus would have supposedly, if we leave at midnight, it was supposedly just going to get us there at like 6 or 7 or something, and then the next bus out, we didn't know. The plan was we'll catch a midnight bus from Sofia to Skopje, and then from Skopje we'll catch the earliest bus to Tirana, and then from Tirana we'll catch the earliest bus to Sarande, which is the town which we were going to meet them in, because you catch ferry from Sarande to Corfu. So we leave at 12 route, we're going, okay, surely a bus will be going from Skopje to Tirana super early. Not super, but like before 10 or something, because they all go early-ish. So, alright, so we're going, alright, we'll catch the midnight bus, get there at around 6, catch a bus, wait a few hours, what's a few hours, who cares, to Tirana. So, we get on the bus, we say goodbye, because we've been staying at the hostel for about a month. Jerry's been staying there for a fuck ton of time. So we all say our goodbyes, have fun kind of thing, and then we catch the midnight bus, and we get there at 3 in the morning. So, right, so we're there at 3 in the morning, we're going, fuck, we're here early. We're both dead after a sweaty bus ride, and we're not sleeping. We got no sleep still. So it's 3 in the morning, haven't slept yet. Sweaty bus ride, feeling all grimy and terrible kind of thing. Luckily, the bus station had internet. So from 3 a.m, we're waiting around. The ticket booths and information open at 6. So from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m, we're literally just sitting there on our phones. I'm nodding in and out, passing out, falling asleep in my bag. I feel like shit. So 6 a.m. comes, and then we're like, all right, bus to Tirana, first bus to Tirana. And then that bus comes at 9 o'clock. God, the sun's beginning to rise, the day's beginning to warm up, grimy. I fell asleep sitting up on my pack as a pillow kind of thing. And then thank the Lord, 9 o'clock comes around, we get on the bus. It's like, I think it was like an 8-hour bus ride or something. We get to Tirana in the heat of the day. So the bus ride, it was alright. You know, it was beautiful view, countryside. I was still grimy and feeling shit and tired, but, you know, that's what you get. So we get to Tirana, no issues from there. We walk over to the hostel, and I love the hostel. So we walk into the hostel, and it's run by an Italian grandmother and her daughter. The grandkids are off studying or something. You call the grandmother Mama, and the grandmother calls you Amore. So that's what I heard anyway. All that was working there was the daughter, and she was sweet. She welcomed us in. It had a big, nice common area outside. Everyone was getting to know each other. Had air conditioning, which was brilliant because it was so hot. So yeah, we're kind of tired. I need a shower. I need to brush my teeth. I'm not really in a heavy social mood, so I hang around a bit. Don't really put in effort making friends, and then go to bed at like 10:30 or something. And then I wake up at like 4 in the morning in a sweat because the air conditioning was not working. It was terrible. We'd only booked one night there, thank God. But oh God, was it foul. So wake up in the morning. I still slept well, thankfully. And then there's Mama cooking breakfast. She was a sweetheart. She treats everyone there like her grandkids. So she was cooking breakfast, and she's aggressively generous. I was standing there because I had a plate. I figured I'd grab myself a bit of extra, and then I'm standing there, and then she sees me and she's like, sit, 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 sit. And you can't explain to her that, oh no, I was just grabbing some sit outside. She sits you down, pulls out a seat. If she figures that you could use some help, you will get that help. It doesn't matter. It's like she's made her mind up before she even has a word to you. So she was a sweetheart. It was a really hot day, so she was hosing us down with ice cold water. And then we met a Finnish and a New Zealand girl there who were great talk. It was a funny talk. And the Finnish girl said that Albanian roads are pretty bad. So even though from Tirana to Sarande, it's kind of close, it should take around 8 hours. So we go, all right, so if we catch the bus at 10 p.m., get there at 6, should be sweet. We had an Airbnb reservation reserved because the two nurses, me and Jerry, Ashlyn, Princess, me and Jerry, we booked an Airbnb. We were going to stay there for 2 nights. It was good fun. So yeah, we'd get there at 6, just explore the city, hang around, have some lunch or whatever, and then check into the Airbnb. So we get on the bus. It's a cramped bus. Like, it's a full bus as well. There were people standing and sitting and everything. It was grimy. The air conditioning was turned off for half of it for some fucking reason. I couldn't rest my head on my arm because I was so grimy. I just slipped right off. It was a foul bus ride. So we get there at 3 in the morning. No, we don't get there at 6. It wasn't an 8-hour bus ride. So we're thinking, fuck, damn it. So see, we're there at 3 in the morning. We're like, all right, well, we'll go walk around for an hour. Time to find internet. Not a single place in this bloody town. It's a small town, so we walked up and down twice on every fucking road we could try to find. Not a single place had internet. So grimy as hell, tired as hell, no internet. We can only talk to each other for so long as we're tired. Like, oh, it was just terrible. So it's around 6 o'clock comes, and Jerry manages just scratch 1 bar of internet for 10 minutes. And we're sitting on the beach, the sun is rising, and he goes, you're not going to believe this. And I'm like, oh, fuck off, Jerry. They've cancelled our reservation. I didn't know what to say. So there we are, 6 in the morning, grimy, sweaty, no sleep, been there since 3, no internet. The internet, we lost it pretty much straight away. No, Jerry's phone is about to die. We would have just checked into a hostel, but we're meeting the 2 girls there and we had a fun plan. You know, Airbnb, it was going to be a good time. So we're like, oh shit. So we walk around, businesses are starting to open up, and I just see some guy opening his doors, and I'm like, oh please, internet. He gives me his password. He gives me the internet password, thank God. Jerry's phone dies and I'm trying to suss out an alternative accommodation. So then I find a place, and then I need a phone number to create an Airbnb account, and I don't have one. So I text Mitchell, who's been really helpful with his phone number, just helping me sign up stuff, and he doesn't respond. So I'm thinking, oh shit. Emily. So I text my little sister, Emily. I'm like, Emily, I need your help. Emily, what's your phone number? I need to create an Airbnb account. She gives it to me. I'm like, thank you. You gave me a place to stay tonight. She's like, all right, I won't tell Mum. So bless her for that. So then I quickly book a place, and then I check it, and it's not even in the town. So I have to cancel it, which it was like $103. I have to cancel it. I get $45 back. I'm thinking, fuck. I just wasted $45 because the other half gets withheld. You can request a refund, but that's if they want to give you the refund. So I got $45 back. I'm thinking, fuck, I potentially wasted like $50. So, because they have a service fee, which is like $7. So I messaged them. I'm like, hey, accidentally booked it. Please, can I have my money back? So they said, this is like jumping tangent. They said yes. And a month later, I still haven't got my money back. I confirmed with them that they said yes. So I've got to message Airbnb or something, because $45 goes a long way. So Yeah, I'm thinking, oh shit, as if the morning can't get worse. And then book another accommodation, which was like, yeah, it was a good place still. So I managed to book it. It's cheaper. They let us check in at 10 o'clock, so it's like by this point a 2 hour wait, 3 hours, 7 o'clock, 3 hour wait. We're like, okay, we've got accommodation, we've got a place to stay tonight. So 10 o'clock comes around, me and Jerry check in. Beautiful place. White tiles, white walls, the most magnificent view of the water with like the Corfu in the distance island. It's beautiful, so comfortable. Had a big shower, washing machine, washed my clothes, had a meal. So that was good. And then Ashlyn and Princess came. They came 2 hours late, which means I got 2 hours more sleep. They came. Hello, how are we doing? Good to see you. Went for a swim as it got dark. Beautiful, clear, cold water. And then we were in Sarando for 2 nights. Everything, no issue. Good fun, hanging around, having a chat. Good air conditioning. And so yeah, then we catch a ferry to Corfu. From Corfu, we catch an hour and a half bus down to Kavos. And Kavos is a party place, right? So yeah, it was expensive as hell. So I wasn't willing to stay any more than 2 nights. Thank God we didn't. But we get to Kavos, and there's the road, and then there's like the little side road that takes us to the hotel, apartments, whatever you want to call them, we're booked at. And little name silver canisters littered the road to the hotel. And I'm thinking, I know what I'm getting myself into now. Like, it was insane. I've never seen anything like it. Walk in, just hear people with balloons. It was crazy. And then there's an old couple sitting by the pool, and I'm thinking, did they know what they got themselves into? Because if they didn't know what they got themselves into, they were in for a ride. So we get there, check in, get the room. The first thing Jerry, there's that welcome book. Don't drink the tap water. There are things nearby. Call this number emergency. And then on the first page, a list of damages: €600 for the front door, €150 if you piss the bed. They told me that, and we're like, all right, we know what we're getting ourselves into now. So we relax, kick back. Comes around 11, we start drinking. Then we go onto the main road, and I've never seen anything like it. Everyone's 18 years old from like Ireland or England or something. They just finished school and are going on schoolies. And it's like, I've never seen anything like it. Constantly. Like, ever littering the streets, stripping poles in all the bars kind of thing. And you walk by and there are those people who are trying to bring you in. They've got girls drinking, trying to dance you and pull you in for a drink kind of thing. And then they've got guys who are standing outside. They're like, hold on, I offer you 2 shots, 2 cocktails, and a balloon for €5 if you come inside now. And a balloon. So they're offering drugs as a part of offer to bring you into the bar. I've never seen anything like it. So we're drinking. And then the strip poles, turns out, weren't for strippers. They were for the 18-year-olds, which they encouraged to get up and dance there to bring in guys. A whole nother, I just couldn't believe what I was watching. It was a whole nother world. Like, it was crazy. I'm so glad I went for the experience. Didn't do any drugs because, like, put holes in your brain. It's called names, they're not good, so I avoid them. Like, a whole nother world. You have 18-year-olds in skimpy clothing dancing. You have, like, people, you have the business offering you drugs to enter. But otherwise, it was neat. There was cheapish food, as cheap as it can get paying euro, like $4 for a breakfast, which I got it cheaply there. So yeah, 2 nights there. It was good fun, drinking, just seeing the scene, honestly. And then it was time to head back to Albania. The two girls headed back to England. So me and Jerry, we head back to Sarande, and we have 3 nights booked there. And the hostel we stayed at was so Sarande, it's it's a coastal town, right? And big hills surrounding it. And our hostel was at the top of the hill. Beautiful hostel, good family who ran it, Albanian family. It was like clean, comfortable. They had air conditioning, but it was a little fan rather. So it was during the heat of the day. We closed the door to see if the fan would work, and it was hotter inside than it was out. So yeah, we end up staying there 3 nights. It was cool. We didn't really do anything because the beach was like, yeah, you're not going to the beach. It was too far away. Not going down that hill only to come back up. The nearest grocery store, it's like 5 minute walk and then up the hill. So me and Jerry, we just hung around, chat, read movies. It was chill. So then from there, we head up to the next town of Vlora. And that hostel in Vlora, it was not even a week old, just over a week old maybe. So two of the toilets didn't have toilet seats. They said they prefer you to pay by card. They didn't have a bank account set up. There was a family running it. There were two brothers. Could not find them for the life of me during the day. But it was comfortable bed. The air conditioning was crisp, which was brilliant. But it was a beautiful, beautiful, it was a cool town. You see it in like half a day. But they had two main beaches. So on the first night, I walked along the beach on the left to watch sunset. Most beautiful sunset I've ever seen. Not ever seen, that's an exaggeration. It was a beautiful sunset. Like, it was textured so that it looked like a paintbrush had been gone over the sky. So I sat on the pier, I went for a walk on the beach, come back, kick around during the day. And then on the second night, I'm going to the grocery store to buy dinner, and a guy comes up to me asking for money. Now, I don't usually because, I'm on such a budget, I should be asking for money. But I was about to take cash out. I had like 4 coins in my wallet. I was like, I'll humor him. So he's there. I do the classic, English, don't understand. But then I'm like, whatever, I'll make his day. So he's holding his hand out, and I go, I'll drop you a few coins. So I put them in his hand, and he holds his hand out. And earlier in the day for lunch, I tried to pay, but I accidentally used Macedonian currency. So when he held his hand out, I was like, oh, is this Lek? Sorry, Lek? And he's like, yes, Lek. And then I check it, and I gave him the right money, so I was confused. I was like, I gave you Lek. And he's like, food. And then I realized he was asking for more. Like, the audacity. So I got a bit annoyed. I was like, I give you Lek. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, I gave you Lek. And then I walked off and him pissed off. Last time I've ever given money out. So yeah, I was about to take it right out of his hand. So the second night I walked along the other beach. The first beach was like, it wasn't a beach, it was a wall along the water, a pier. But the second beach was an actual beach. I saw a wedding happen, which is cool. Not as cool as the first sunset, but still a sunset over the beach is always beautiful. And then on the way back, I walked past a road. There was a big traffic jam. There was a bicycle on its side and an ambulance. So I assume there was no injured person there. I assume they'd loaded him on already. That was interesting. So we'd stayed 3 nights in Vlora. On the third night, I think it was just hanging around rather. Jerry actually decided to do something. His sleeping cycle is messed up, so he was just sleeping the whole time. But he actually came out. He was enjoying the air conditioning. So then from there, we decided we'd head to Durrës, and then Durrës to Tirana. So we get to Durrës, and then lovely hostel. So no air conditioning, but they had a massive outdoor front garden. They had a dog, a beautiful 6-month-old golden retriever. The staff were friendly, people were friendly. The rooms, they were just nice rooms. Nothing special about that. But yeah, so we get there, and then the people we met, there were amazing people there. There was this really almost eccentric American dude who's just been traveling the world teaching English and whatever he can do. Plays guitar, philosophical, always smoking weed. Like, yeah, he was a cool guy though, so happy we met him. And then, so we were only there for 2 nights. This was on the first day. And then on the second day, which was our full day, we met an American guy there. And his name was Mike. He was from Oregon. He grew up somewhere else, like Pennsylvania or something, I can't remember. But he was a cool guy as well. And he was like, so I'm headed up to Skoda, which is the next town up north, the most northern big town. Because next to Skoda, there's a big national park where you can do a big 8-hour hike. So he was like, I'm headed up there. Talked about it. He was like, come if you want. I'm like, I'll come. Why not? I'm not really locked into any plans. And he said he had an Australian friend who was going to be there later in the afternoon, a few hours away. So then the Australian friend comes in, Nate from Adelaide. He comes in, and he's a cool guy as well. So the 3 of us decide we'll head up there 1 p.m. tomorrow. So we hang around, we're just having drinks. It's a fun time. And then, the next day comes around. We go to the bus station. Jerry heads to Tirana, so I said goodbye to him after a couple of months, but I'll probably see him. If I do plan on going to Georgia, and he will be in Georgia, so likely to see him there. So, he parted ways, said goodbye. Me, Nate, and Mike, we caught the bus up to Skoda. So we booked 3 nights in Skoda, and then we we're going to see how the camping, hiking was going to go, because the weather was looking a bit iffy. So we get to Skoda, and it's a cool hostel. So, so we get to the hostel. They have a cool outdoor area. it's pretty quiet on the first night we get there, but I mean, it was a comfortable. The three of us, and we met a few other people, really interesting stories. So we hang around there for 3 nights, and then we decide at the end of the 3 nights, we'll be able to go. We'll maybe 2 or 3 nights camping, we'll go hiking. So we make it, so it's the end, it's approaching, it's the second day, about to sleep for the third night, and then it turns out we have to leave at 6 in the morning because you catch a bus to an hour bus ride where there's a 3 hour ferry ride, where there's another hour bus ride where you arrive in Valbona, and then from Valbona you walk 8 hours over through a dry riverbed up and over the mountain to Teth, and then from Teth you drive back down to Skoda. So from there we also met a group. I forget where they're from. They were all from the United Kingdom, except I think one was Irish, but I think she was from Belfast. I can't remember. So they were also doing that, Zeph and the other two girls. So they come with us in the morning, except they caught a different bus for some reason. So we arrive in the ferry. We're catching the ferry together. 3 hours, such a beautiful ferry. Down a valley, you have rugged mountains either side of you the entire way. It was gorgeous. So then we get off, we bus it up, all interesting, and then we hit Valbona. So we don't see them again for the rest of the hike. So me, Mike, and Nate, we're walking along the riverbed. We find a spot to set up camp. It's a cool spot, beautiful spot. Set up camp, collect firewood. I lost one of my rings while collecting firewood. I threw the log and the ring just came flying off, which is upsetting, but it's whatever. So we spend one night camping. It's an 8 hour hike. I got terribly burnt, but it was a tough hike, like literally walking up over an entire mountain ridgeline. And while on the hike, we met a couple, Scottish and I think he was English, I can't remember. And then we see them, it's classic. We stop for a rest, we're like, hey, how you doing? Good luck, that kind of thing. And then on the way back down, it was, we passed a bar. And then we saw them at the bar, and it was such a beautiful bar. It was on the side of the hill, and you got the entire forest in front of you. Like, I sat there, and I'm thinking, here I am with two guys I met no more than a week ago, two people I met an hour ago maybe, chatting like we're best friends in such a view in Albanian mountains. Like, what a world. So that was all right. The water situation got a bit iffy. The first night camping, we were all running low. So I went out, I was looking for a bar, which apparently nearby, didn't find it, but I found a house with goats out the front and a big farm. So I walk up and there's the mother, two kids. The two kids are like hide behind the mum. No English, but she shows me around back. So I fill up all the water bottles. And then there are a few springs along the way. Springs, like streams. Fill up, get burnt, but hit the top and it's dope view. Get a few good photos out of it. So then 8 hours later, we finished the hike, and then I'm sunburnt, so we were looking at the prospect of one more night camping, and I was dreading it because I didn't have a sleeping bag or a tent. Mike had a hammock, so for camping, I slept on the hammock. I wore a long sleeve, a jumper, and a jumpery type raincoat, 2 pairs of pants, 2 woolen socks. So all that clothing with my horrible sunburn, I was just not happy about that. So as we're walking, we're like, oh well, I mean, if we could probably try hitchhiking. I mean, Mike suggested it, I think. We could try hitchhiking. He was like, if we get a ride, we'll just head back because it's convenient, you know. So then we actually find a ride back. Somebody was heading back to Skoda. We head back. More fun times. Cool people there. A Finnish woman who was there loved to cook. She cooked like a fuck ton of burritos, salsa, guacamole. Oh, it was good, man. I met a really cool German fella, Anselm. He was a cool guy. I met a cool Norwegian fella. I forget his name though. He hasn't added me back on Instagram, so I think he's just, live and let live kind of thing. Added me back. We didn't have internet, so I gave him my details rather, so he hasn't added me. So, I mean, he was a cool guy, but that's, fair to him. Good wishes. Stayed there, and then 2 more nights there. I was letting my sunburn recover. So, it was on the 16th where I'd had enough time in Skoda. I was like, all right, time to plan my next adventure kind of thing. So Stella, who lives in Bulgaria in the Rhodope Mountains, a small village, 5,000 people, I met her at the high school. She was Sam's friends, who was the teacher. Her, and a group of friends, it was kind of like, oh yeah, I mean, I might as well catch up with all them before I go, kind of thing, see them. So I let her know. I was like, oh yeah, so I'll see you guys one last time before I go. And she was like, all right, well, there's a fair, so if you get here on the 19th, we can go to the fair, and then I've got to go again. So like, oh yeah, right, I'll catch up with you all. So, where was I? Yeah, no, so this was on the 16th. I wasn't leaving on the 17th because of my sunburn. So it's on the morning of the 18th. I say goodbye to Mike, Nate, the Norwegian fella. We were both going to, we were both planning on going to Skopje. So we go to Tirana together. We get there, and then I'm pretty tired because the sunburn kept me up, kind of thing. Fuck my voice. So we get there, and then it's like 1 in the afternoon or something. We hit the bus station, and we're sussing out how we're going to go, because he wanted to get to Athens. So his idea was go through Skopje down to Athens. Mine was Skopje to Sofia. So I leave at 10 in the morning. I want to be in a Bulgarian village by 4 in the afternoon the next day. So the pressure's on for me. I've worked it out. I'll have like a few hours between each bus, so all the way to the village. So we get there, we suss out the best options. So he decided to catch a bus straight to Athens, and then I could only catch a bus to Skopje. So 4 in the afternoon, say goodbye to him. 9:30 my bus leaves, so I'm sweaty, horrible. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do for 5 hours? But then I remembered I stayed at the hostel Zigzag, one with Mama in it and her daughter. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'll pop in there, ask for water. Maybe they'll let me hang around and use their internet. So I walk in, and there's Mama in the kitchen cooking some food. So I go, hello, Mama, and she sees me. She's like, Amore! Comes in for a big hug. She's like, are you hungry? And I'm like, no. She's like, we're full, sorry. But I was like, no, I'm just staying. I catch a bus soon. And she's like, sit. She throws out my water bottle and grabs a cold bottle of water. She throws me a towel so I can shower, kind of thing. And then, so that was a breath of fresh air. I shower, I relax, I charge my phone up, I recover. She's sweet, we talk, and then the daughter came and we talk, kind of thing. And the daughter's like a mum as well. Her kids are around older than me, I think. So yeah, eventually time for me to leave, and the bus leaves at 9. The bus left at 9:30. So I catch the bus. It's a long bus ride. I'm exhausted. I'm under time pressure. And then at the border, for some reason, they decide to stop us and search for drugs. So they pull the bus into a bay. They search every bag individually. They search every bus. I'm tired. I'm sweaty. I can barely sleep. And I'm just like, I'm not going to make it. So I get to the bus station at around 6. I get to the bus station at around 6. The bus to Sofia was meant to leave at 7. So I'm like, time pressure's on, right? So the bus at 7 was full, but there was a bus at 8:30. So I was like, all right, I can pull this off still. So I'm hanging around there for like 3.5 hours, falling asleep in my seat, kind of thing. Finally catch the bus. The bus takes longer. It got there like a bit late, a bit longer. So it was just a bit later than it should have been. So I checked, and I should have gotten there at around 1. At around 11:30, I'd get to Sofia, and then an hour later, a bus at 12:30 would take me to Chepelade, and I'd get there at 3:30. So I was like, all right, I get there half an hour before, because Stella has work, so she'll be able to settle me, and I'll be able to meet family, shower, drop my bag, and all that. So I get there, and I get there at 3 o'clock. Yeah, so I get there at 3 o'clock, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, a bus comes at 4:30 instead. So I've got an hour and a half. I'm like, I'll visit the hostel. I go, I'm like, hey, good to see you all again. I figured I'd fill up my water, brush my teeth, shower if I have time. And I'm like, yeah, the bus leaves at 4:30, so like I'm not staying, don't worry. 4:30, okay, so you only have half an hour. And I just ignored it. I'm like, no, I have an hour and a half. But then I realized I didn't change my time. Bulgaria's different time zone. So it wasn't 3 o'clock, it was 4 o'clock, and I had half an hour to get back to the bus station. So I grab my stuff, say goodbye, I pace it there in like 7 minutes record time. 7 minutes. It took me 7 minutes quicker than it usually would have taken me. And I was sweaty and horrible, and I'm pacing around looking for a bus to Chapelado, and I cannot find it. So I approached these two young people, and they, bless their heart, they helped me out. They're running around with me. They're like, do not worry, we wouldn't be able to find it either, because you don't go there unless you live there, kind of thing. So they eventually find a bus. It leaves at 5 instead. So I hang around a bit. I don't have enough money, so he pays like 5 lev, which was so sweet of him. I love the Bulgarians, man. So then I catch the bus at 5, gets me there at 8. So it wasn't 4 hours. I'm already late. I've already told her. So I'm like, okay, so I'll go to the hotel Stella works at. And then I get there. Hello, long time no see. Good to see you. She's busy. So she calls Vasco. She calls Vasco. He comes down, and then we hang out. We hang out for till like 12 o'clock, 4 hours or something. I can't do the maths. And then, yeah, she finishes work. We all go back, drop my bags, fall asleep. And then I was at Stella's house. I was staying with her family. And then the last Bulgarian family I stayed at was a family of 3. The dad was sizing me up the whole time. Didn't really talk to me. Didn't really want to. The mum was a sweetheart. And then Tocho, he was a cool guy. I liked him. So, yeah, I'm thinking, all right, I'm a bit tired, but I'm going to have to be on my A game. I'm going to have to be all manly for the dad, sweet for the mum, that kind of thing. So I walk out, and the mum, she greets me with a hug. She's happy to see me. The grandma's there as well. She's happy to see me. Stella's sister comes in, and she's like, oh, it's nice to meet you. The fiance of her sister comes in, and he's a cool guy as well. So they take me out to the patio, and they've got a massive pancake with homemade honey, jam, and they've got cheese there. They've got coffee for me all laid out, and a beautiful view of the mountains over their veggie patch. And then the dad comes to sit down, and he's already laughing about something, and then he talks to me, and he's like, Crocodile Dundee, because that's what all Bulgarians say when they find out I'm Australian. So he was a good laugh. A breath of fresh air that he wasn't sizing me up. So, yeah, hanging around, talk to the fiance, he's a cool guy, meet the sister, meet the dad. The mum's cooking food because we were going to a traditional fair, so she's cooking food for the picnic. Beautiful breakfast. And then one of the cousins comes with her friends, and then everyone's cheering, going, oh my God, yay, all that kind of thing. So it was like, I felt right at home. I love the family so much. And then it was the fiance's name day. So in Bulgaria, days are tied to saints. And if your name shares, when the saint of the day is the same name as your name, you bring chocolates, you get gifts. So his fiance's name day, so he's handing out chocolates, he got gifts. Party attitude. Everyone's loving it. Everyone's happy in the morning. I immediately wasn't tired anymore. So then we go to the fair. It was a cool fair, traditional music, traditional dancing. Everyone's happy. Heaps of markets out in a big field, Rojin it's called. When it was Ottoman times, that was the border, so family was meet in the meadow and get to see each other. So it was good times, good fun, hanging around, so the cousin's boyfriend's friend and the cousin's boyfriend's cousin's friends and all that, like extended as hell, all hanging around, having a good time. I get burnt again, unfortunately. So yeah, I head back, and then I explore the town. It's already dark by this point. Grab some food, play ukulele a bit, walk around, get back, get to sleep at like 2, and we have to wake up at 4:30 because Stella needs to be in Veliko where I am now for some camp kind of thing. So we have to catch her. So we got a lift with the mum and grandma to the train, caught a bus, caught another train here. So yeah, so me and Stella, we end up heading to Veliko together. She says goodbye, I say goodbye, hug the mother goodbye, hug the grandma goodbye. Such sweetheart. I love the family so much. They prepare me food, and they were dolls. I felt right at home. I love them so much. So then I'm here. I get here, it's like 1 in the afternoon. I'm in the heat of the day. I just need a shower and a sleep. 3 days no sleep. I'm hungry as hell. So I finally make it here. And then it's like 4 o'clock by the time I'm settled down. And then dinner's at 7. So I was like, I'll make it till dinner, then I'll pass out because I'm buggered. Except I go down for dinner, and I'm energized because everyone there's in a good mood. Heaps of cool people. So I meet everyone, I'm having chats. I don't get sleep till like 11 or something because just everyone's so cool here. I met so many cool people, learning so much. Good dinner, so much beautiful pasta. And then I finally fall asleep. So that takes us to this morning. I go down for breakfast, and there's two old Irish women. I wouldn't know how old, but one of them has grey hair, so however old you want to assume. And talk to them, interesting stories, meet more people. And one of the Irish women, she was cherry grape picking in France. So she was telling me all about that: free food, accommodation, wine, pay, flexible. You knock on their door, the next day you're picking grapes. So she was telling me about the opportunity that is, because I fly to Paris on the 31st, and for 5 days I'm in France until I see Le Mans, which I didn't say right because of the French accent. But so I've got 5 days in France, which I do not want to be spending money because that place is bloody expensive. So she was telling me it's so flexible. She gave me the number of the guy she picked cherries for, uh, grapes for. So I'm thinking for the 5 days I might pick grapes, go see Le Mans, and then I want to fly out to Georgia. So the cheap flights are at the end of the month, the end of August. So I'm thinking I could pick grapes. It'd be laborious, but I'd earn money. I wouldn't have to pay a cent while I'm there. Like, it'd be a good experience too. Like, at no point back home would I ever consider picking grapes. So another travel opportunity. And I'm thinking I might do that. So I might be picking grapes, earning some money, then I might head to Georgia. Except my mum just quit her job, got too stressful. I'm so happy she finally quit. And there's talk that she might come see me in Europe because she needs a holiday. I don't know how she will. She gets lost walking around Sydney, so I couldn't imagine her coming to like Greece or something, but who knows. So yeah, the plan from here, I've got Sophia on the 29th. I think it's the 21st. I think it's the 22nd today. So I'm just relaxing. I might meet someone who's got a simple plan. Oh, I'm heading down to Plovdiv, might as well go. Something like that. So for now, my plan is relax, enjoy, catch a flight to Paris, maybe pick grapes, see Roman, maybe pick more grapes, and then maybe fly to Georgia. So that's roughly everything that has happened since, and the rough idea of what I might do. But otherwise, for now, hanging around, not planning on doing anything, no adventures, just relax. Might head some to another city, but for now, I'm just relaxing. Play some ukulele, eat food, enjoy the hostel, and that's about it. So don't know when I will talk next because it's too spontaneous to know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. So but that's from the 27th of July, 27th of June till I think it's the 22nd of July. So that's a full month of pack travel. I'm exhausted. I don't think I missed anything, but it was full on. So I'm going to stop talking now, but yeah, that's what's up so far. I need some water.